Hello, my name's John. I am working with Jeff on Wiring Planner. Been using it since its release in August, and we've been working closely on some of the new features and enhancements. And I've been using my own project as a test bed for testing and organizing and coming up with ways to use it. Jeff has asked me to share some of my organization techniques with you that kind of help to navigate your components and your program projects. So in the case, we're going to start with the library. There's two parts to wiring planners. You've got your libraries and your projects. In the case of the libraries, I've created a library for all the things I need. Uh, includes graphical components as well as a lot of connectors and so on and so forth. Generally speaking, I organize by manufacturer. That's generally the first thing I'm going to know about something when I drop it in. So, in the case of, for example, Garmin, there's a lot of Garmin I use. So I break them up by function, accessories, antennas. In this case, ComNav, GPS. You see, this is a library that we plan to provide with Wiring Planner. So it's got a lot of Garmin components that have already pre-created. But this just lets me find various components very quickly. I do have some more general purpose accessories that aren't necessarily vendor specific that I just kind of put in a miscellaneous folder, if you will. But generally speaking, my libraries are organized by vendor. Manufacturer, I suppose, is more accurate. Um, Going into the project, this is a little more interesting, I think, but uh, projects are made up of a model, and within that model, there are a number of diagrams. Now, something to keep in mind with organization is that some components only exist on a single diagram. Some, like a black box device, if you will, or a connector, can be placed on multiple diagrams, and this affects how I organize my project. Um, Wiring Planner does not enforce a specific organization method, so these are just recommendations, but they're things that I've found useful. So uh, I create a diagrams folder and I place all my diagrams with it. When you're creating new diagrams or new components, they'll be placed directly in the model level folder, and that list can get extremely long quickly. Um, so I break things down as I'm going to kind of prevent having a big cleanup at the end. And so I start with a diagrams folder, and as you can see, I've named them so that they'll be alphabetical by number. I use the 001 through 017. You could use 2 digits if you know you won't have a certain number of pages, and so on and so forth. But this just allows easy alphabetic ordering within the diagrams folder. And then you've got your title. Going from there, we'll take a look at devices and connectors. Devices and connectors are unique from all the other components in that these ones can be placed and spread across multiple diagrams. So it doesn't make sense to organize them specifically by diagram. And so if you look at my devices folder here, I have a list of all my devices in the entire design. And likewise with connectors, a list of all the connectors in the entire design. Now, something to note is I have adopted some naming conventions as well. If we look at, I'm going to go to, let's look at, say, a Garmin Navcom. And you can see it's got a J1003, J1004, J101. Is I generally name my mating connectors to match the connector they're mating with. This makes it easier for me to find and drop connectors. Now, Wiring Planner will prevent you from connecting different connectors to the same connector, but you still need to find that connector. So this just makes it very easy for me to find that in the connectors list. I know I'm looking for J1001. In the case where you might see something like where's a good example? A J1. J1's probably very common, so what I'll tend to do is name it P1, and then, a little bit of description there. In this case, it's a GNC for GNC 215, and that way it doesn't conflict with other J1s in the design. So that's just a naming convention thing I do. It doesn't really impact the overall organization, but it does make it very easy when I come in here to go, oh, there's a J201, there's a J4601, and then -P would be the primary PDU, the PFD. So just some naming convention stuff I do. So devices and connectors are generally just a list of connectors and devices in the whole design. The rest of the design I organize by the page they're on. And I do this for, one, it keeps the list small, but two, when I want to find something, we got this find in diagram feature. If I'm not on the diagram, it can't find it. It won't open the diagram. And there are some reasons for that. But this cleans things out, as I know that this is on my radio and alerts page. So I just need to find my radio and alerts page. And now when I do a find in diagram, it highlights it, as you can see. So by organizing my passives, and these are now referred to as graphical components in the latest version, it becomes very easy to find and keep organized with what I have on various diagrams. So all of my graphical components, my conductors and terminals, which also exist only on one diagram, I go by the diagram they're in, and then I break that down even further with terminals and then conductors. And so if I bring up my avionics ground, and I want to find this, find a diagram, and you can see it highlights it for me. So this makes it very easy to navigate from within the Project Explorer. And I do this with notes and everything in the design except device and connectors. I have done a slightly unique approach to ground blocks because connecting multiple grounds on an aircraft all back to a single ground block would require placing a whole bunch of connectors in a diagram and make it very, very messy in terms of wires crossing each other and so on and so forth. I just generally use a contact for each connection to a terminal block. And that allows me to indicate what terminal block it is. I'll zoom in on this. In this case, it's ground block 1, terminal 6. Not that I necessarily need to connect it to terminal 6, but that's just the order they came in. But that keeps me from having a lot of wires crossing over, which means it's less likely for me to make a mistake in wiring. So that's what I do with my ground blocks, and I break these up separately just so that I can keep track of, in my case, I have 34 connector ground blocks. So this lets me keep track of when I filled it up. In this case, I've got 29 of them that I've used. And that kind of covers how I organize my project. I hope it helps, and good luck with Wiring Planner.